So today I wanted to show you a little video on how to fill a raised garden bed on the least amount of money possible. I've done it so far, we've spent nothing. So the top part, you will have to spend a little something unless you have some good connections. We'll get there. But in the meantime, let's start off with the beginning. So this one behind me is a 17-inch tall raised garden bed, the aluminum one. So far I love it, it's brand new. We just filled the bottom half. So the first, I'd say maybe quarter of it is actually wood. So we went to Home Depot and Lowe's during Christmas time and asked for the little wood stumps from the Christmas trees that they were shaving off. And they gave us buckets full of those. So we filled the bottom with that. We would also, when we see gardeners trimming trees, they would have tree trunks or twigs and big branches. So we would ask if we could take those away. So the bottom quarter of it, and really you could do the bottom third if it's this deep of a bed with wood. Or like wood pieces, things like that. Because you just need to get, it's only this deep really to make it more comfortable for you. There's some plants that will have really deep roots, but if you're just doing summer gardening like we are and maybe a couple things in the winter, you really don't need the really good soil to be that deep. So the next level is I got some compost. We have a compost center in our city that's free, and for nearby cities you just have to pay a couple bucks and you can bring your own buckets, or people will bring their own truck and you can fill the back of the truck. So you can do that too. So look into your city or a nearby city who may have a compost center, and all it is the green waste trash trucks, and gardeners and anyone else will drop off, you know, cut down trees or dirt from yard work and whatnot, and they'll break it down and then put it in a big pile for the public to take away. So that's what we did. So that's what you're looking at, the dirt right here on the top, minus the toys of my kids playing in it. And the light. Yes, that is the public compost. Now I will say the one drawback to this is it's everyone's green waste. So there could be weeds in there, there can be seeds. So I've had it sitting there for maybe about a month, haven't really touched it. It's gotten rained on and I've had a couple little weeds pop up and I have pulled them, but just so you know, that is the one drawback. So just know that. But for on the cheap, it works pretty good. For the next level, I do a little bit of coco coir. If you haven't heard of it before, it looks like this. There's different brands. There's, you know, expensive ones and cheaper ones. I got the cheaper version for the gardening bed because I don't really feel like it makes that big of a difference. If you really know a lot about coco coir, please comment and let me know if there is a big difference between the expensive ones and the less expensive ones. But basically you put this in a bucket of water. I just get either a small bucket from the hardware store, or a lot of times I'll use my kids' buckets that we take to the beach. They work fine. Put some water in there, let it soak up. It'll fall apart. If you're impatient a little bit like me, I'll go in and kind of break it up, add some more water, break it up, and then it becomes this, it's almost, it looks like dirt, but it feels, I don't really know how it feels like. It's nice for drainage for the plants. This is a nice layer for drainage. Then on top, the part we don't have yet, that I will go get bags of soil, raised bed soil, and that will be the final layer on top. And then, well, I shouldn't say final layer, the layer that the plants are gonna grow into. And then the final layer will be mulch, which we got that actually at our compost center in our community as well. So again, compost center, try and get that mulch too if you can find one nearby to you. And if not, you know, you can get it at the store. So I was going to show you a closer look. So it basically just looks like regular soil. It just has some little more wood chips in there than you would find in, say, soil that you'd find at the store. These weeds I was talking about kind of popping up. Ooh, look at that whole thing. So I mean, if that doesn't bother you, for me it was all about staying on budget and not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on soil. And like I said, this is just going to be my seasonal bed, so I don't mind battling the weeds. And no judgment, we just moved in, but like, look at the weeds that have taken over in our yard. Again, we are slowly trying to make it our own. Ugh, they've just taken over. All right, so fast forward about 2 weeks later from our original video, and we finally filled it up. I used 4 bags of 2 cubic feet of raised bed gardening soil, and then we topped it with the mulch on top. So that took us to the top. So far so good. No weeds have popped up, but then again, we just put the soil in yesterday from filming this video. We have a few plants in here. Gonna put in a couple more. We're gonna see how big these ones get. We have a bell pepper, a tomato, another bell pepper, and some marigolds to hopefully keep some of the critters away. We do have a couple squirrels, and unfortunately I've heard some rats in the corner of our yard, so hopefully they won't get to this garden. But yeah, some cucumber and a jalapeno, so we're gonna see how this goes. But yes, that's how you fill up a gardening bed with the least amount of money possible. Something I forgot to mention earlier in my video is that middle layer where I filled it with compost from the compost center. If you don't have a compost center near you, you could also do, one of my friends did this. She went to a horse stable and they were getting rid of dirt with horse manure in it, which was great for plants. So, and they had it already bagged up and everything. She just had to go in and ask, and they gave it to her for free. So think about that too. Maybe call some stables close by, see if they do something like that. I hadn't gone and done that, but she had, and she had some really great luck with filling most of her raised beds with that. So consider that as well. But yes, those are my tips. So hopefully that can help you out with your gardening adventures. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and we'll bring more content to you for gardening and Amazon reviews and all the things